How do I begin laying a foundation that helps to not only guard and protect my child against sort of the vile things that are in the world, but how do I prepare them to live in a world without filters? How do I prepare them to live in a world without guards, without all the protections that my home might offer? I want them to be prepared for that world and plan to be pure people in that world. What does that look like? So why don't you just briefly, if it's possible to be brief about that, what is this? What does this structure look like? How do you lay this foundation? What do you do?
Well, there's certain steps that everyone moves through in the process of understanding purity. And I try to give just a format so that you can look at the whole picture and say, where are we in that structure? And how do we start from where we are to put in some of the pieces that we might have missed? It all starts with the ground, and the ground is engagement. You have to engage with the child and build the relationship with them so they feel safe talking to you. And then the foundation of the house itself is about what purity is. You know, we tend to define it as something only sexual that has to do with teenagers. And purity is about our hearts. Yeah. It always starts with what kind of person we are.
And it's much more than sex.
Right,
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's about everything, and it's about every age. It applies to everyone at every age. So we want to get that definition right. That's the foundation for everything there. And then we move to building the first floor, which is about how we manage the heart, how we learn to guard the heart. And this is all taken from Proverbs 4, where it talks about the heart being the foundation for everything, the wellspring of life. And our five senses are the input that we receive that builds up our heart or tears it down. So even the youngest child can understand how to guard their eyes, how to guard their ears, how to decide what they believe about the breath and keeping the breath sacred, what they say, and what they touch. Each one of those things is one of the doors of the heart that we build on the first floor with anybody's understanding of purity first.
Right.
Then from there, we move on to the second floor, which is about the body and setting boundaries for the body. Once you have the heart in order, then you can start talking about, well, how's that going to affect how I act, what I do, the standards I want to set for my children. And the roof then is about accountability. You build a house, you don't put a roof on it, the rain comes, it all washes away, and all your work is gone. Well, hanging out with people who have the same belief systems, being accountable to people, your child being accountable to you, the church and the school situations where your child is, and getting them to be protected in those situations, all build that roof of safety over the house. But then to me, the greatest aspect of the house is the yard of grace, that kind of white picket fence around it that says you can always start over. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have to ask forgiveness. You're going to have a sense of humor. And then you can do this thing. It's not about perfection. You burn the toast, you put a new slice of toast in, and you start again.
Right.
And that's, I think, how a lot of parents feel, is that, you know, they've done something wrong and they can't do anything else about it. And we're all like that. There isn't one of us who are going to do this perfectly. That kind of pressure is too great to withstand. So I hope the house gives some sense of, you know, this is where we might be in this process. These are some of the ways that we can strengthen, restart, add to, make it even stronger.